Ricky Nelson was one of America's first true teenage superstars. With his soft voice, movie star looks, and presence on the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, he seemed to embody the perfect 1950s dream. But behind the warm family image that millions adored, Ricky lived a life filled with pressure, heartbreak, and emotional battles he kept hidden from the world. And now, new details that have surfaced have shocked Hollywood, revealing a darker, more tragic side of the man who helped shape the early sound of rock and roll. Ricky's troubles started much earlier than anyone realized. Growing up on a television set meant he had no real childhood. Insiders now reveal that the Nelson household was far more complicated than the show suggested. Ozzie Nelson, his father, was determined to mold the entire family into a clean, picture-perfect brand. Ricky often felt like a product, not a son. He wasn't allowed to simply be himself. He was expected to fit into a role that millions of viewers believed was real. That pressure followed him into adulthood like a shadow. As Ricky grew older, he began craving independence. He wanted to be a musician, not just the smiling kid America saw every week. But when he tried to break away from his manufactured image, the industry rejected him. New accounts from friends say Ricky felt deeply wounded by the way audiences turned on him when he performed new material. The famous garden party incident wasn't just embarrassing. It was emotionally devastating. For years afterward, Ricky struggled with confidence, battling the belief that people only loved the version of him that no longer existed. Financial struggles were another burden he kept hidden. Despite his fame, Ricky's money problems were far worse than the public ever knew. Poor management, expensive touring, and legal issues left him scrambling to support both his family and his lifestyle. These were the years when his marriage to Kristen Harmon fell apart, years marked by addiction, arguments, and emotional turmoil. Recently surfaced court documents and interviews reveal just how overwhelmed Ricky truly was during this time. But what shocked Hollywood the most were the new insights into his final days. Ricky was desperately trying to rebuild his career, leaning heavily into small venue tours, hoping for one more chance at success. However, the pressure to keep performing meant taking risks most stars would avoid. New evidence from aviation experts suggests the aircraft he boarded on December 31, 1985, had known mechanical issues. Multiple warnings had been given, but the schedule was tight, money was tight, and Ricky felt he had no choice but to continue flying. When the plane crashed in DeKalb, Texas, the world mourned. But now, insiders admit the tragedy was not merely a freak accident. It was the tragic consequence of years of stress, mismanagement, and impossible expectations placed on a man who spent his entire life trying to live up to an image created for him as a child. Ricky Nelson's voice remains timeless. His songs still echo across generations. But the heartbreaking truth is that behind the golden glow of fame was a man fighting battles the world never saw, struggling to hold on until the very end.